able to get in chat. Bullhorn Betty here. I know you guys have been waiting with bated breath. I'm just joking. I hope everybody's having a great Friday. TGIF, TGIF, TGIF. It's nice to see you all this afternoon. We made it. You guys don't get all the fun stuff that we do on my lives on YouTube because I got a system, a soundboard that I can hook up. I've got all the good stuff, and we play stuff, and we make noise, and we have a little bit of fun, like, right? So we're on the track of Sebastian Rogers. He's a 15-year-old autistic boy. I know, thank goodness it's Friday. You know what? It's always a Monday for Bullhorn Betty. So you guys, I live vicariously through each and every one of you, right? Because I'm always on this side, and I've got my nose in a computer or in a phone literally all day. You know, when I get old, I'm gonna be like this. I'm literally gonna be and I'm going to be in the position of phone reading, right? I'm going to be stuck in that one night. I'm going to be stuck like that. Thank you, Luna. God bless you. So this is Sebastian Rogers. He's a 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and has not been seen or heard from since he put his head on the bed, according to his mother, Katie Proudfoot. This is Christopher Proudfoot, the stepfather. Both of them are, in my opinion, liars, pants on fire. If you guys did not watch my 8 o'clock show last night, to me, it was very, not to pat myself on the back. I mean, I do good work here and there. Every now and again, you catch me on a good day. But I really kind of laid out the entire case as we know it with the new information, the tracking, okay? There is tracking. There was dog tracking that we were told that was a false track, okay? And we are learning now that we've been deceived by law enforcement for the purposes of this case. I'm not angry with them in the least bit. They have to do what they have to do, just like we have to do what we have to do. They have a job to do. We have a job to do. And so we always try to listen to law enforcement, but we never quite do. Let's be honest. We're always skeptical. So we go and dig a little deeper. And that's what we did. And it really, as deep as we were digging, was still not deep enough. And so Miss Bobby, a neighbor, came out and kind of, for social media, kind of broke this case wide open for us, for social media. And so now you believe, no, I do not. I still, my position has not changed on the state I think Sebastian is in. With this new information, actually it kind of more in line solidifies the information more so than the opposite. But this is new critical information for us. We've been able to kind of line up the back side. Oh, thank you, Rachel. God bless you. We've kind of backed up the side of the back end of Kathy Bowersock's vehicle to the shadow of the vehicle that we were seeing. We finally got a hold of a track where Chris was explaining to another content creator on YouTube the exact path that the dogs took. And guys, the dogs followed the light phenomenon out the back of the house. They were in the same area that the flashlights were in. They were, we have what appears to be Kathy Bowersock's vehicle out there. We have 2 flashlights going to there. We're told that happened around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. That would imply that CP could not have been there if that happened. So one of 2 things has happened. I do believe, oh, thank you, Sassy. I do believe that Chris Proudfoot is involved in the cleanup aspect of it. I do believe he came from Memphis to Hendersonville, though I can't prove that just yet. But if that car was there at 3:34, there's no way Chris could have been in there, because we have confirmation that Chris was in his crane at 5:15. So it is creating a little bit of an issue over here. But we definitely believe that the family is involved. I definitely believe there was more than just Katie and Chris that know about this, participated in this, but more importantly, I believe a lot of the people in the family already know what happened, whether they were a participant or not. Just personally speaking, I think that this is something that they would have had to confer with some of the family members to get certain information. We know Chris went and preemptively started canvassing the neighborhood while law enforcement was looking left, for a missing child. Chris is looking right for any intel he can see about if any of this was caught on camera. And that's exactly what he did. And he went around the neighbors and had them and he previewed the cameras himself. So he was able to work with Katie based upon what he saw in crafting her story, because her story, when she was on the street, one of the neighbors told us their story, because Katie had to tell her story. Instead of just saying, I woke up this morning and my child wasn't in his bed, she went through the whole dissertation that she told the cop, because the lady pulled up and said, hey, what's going on here? Well, I put my son down at 9 p.m. and, I heard a thud about 11:30 when I was in the kitchen, and I hollered out there and asked him if he was okay, Bubba, and he hollered back, I'm okay, Mama, go to bed. So it was him that told his mom to go to bed. She never even talked about falling asleep on the couch, or she never even talked about talking to Chris. I can't remember what version we're on now. I'm so confused with the many versions that we have from 9 to 12 to explain what Katie was doing inside that home. Okay, so I don't know which number we're on. But that first one definitely is completely polar opposite of the story that we're being told today and fed today. Totally different. The only thing that has stayed the same is the fact that Sebastian has went to bed at 9, and the fact that she went to sleep obviously at midnight. Those are the two things that have not changed so far. Everything else in the story, even down to the thud, has changed drastically on when it happened. Her being told to go to bed has changed drastically. So we have a lot of inconsistencies when we're talking about this, but that wasn't really the point. Well, I knew she was lying. I really did. It's no hair off my butt. I knew she was lying. So with that being said, it does look pretty strange. And in my live, another creator on Twitter that I highly respect was in there, and she's kind of believing that that this child was abducted. And I don't believe that this child was abducted, personally speaking. I have not gotten there. Oh, me and you, it's nice to see you, my love. I haven't gotten there. Not that her theory is wrong. I just haven't seen the stuff that would help me get me off the fence of Chris and Katie right now, especially with the new information that we were able to get together and compile in the video last night. You're going to want to, if you guys are heavily involved in Sebastian Rogers' case, it's an hour-long live that I did on, Chasing Crimes was there, that I did on YouTube, and I just went straight down everything that we have been able to collect and compile that was kind of feeding into why I believe that Chris and Katie are responsible, and that I believe other people are also responsible in this. Because again, we see a car that resembles Kathy Bowersock's vehicle there with a light source going to it at a time that Chris would not be there and could not be there if he's in his crane at 5:15 in the morning, unless he has the ability to levitate or use a plane or some other type of unknown equipment to get him there quicker. He has to drive, and if he has to drive from his house to his work is over 3.5 hours. So that has to be equated in there, because if he's at that crane at 5:15, you got to subtract at least, at minimum, 3 hours and 3.5 hours. It doesn't matter when. See, I have a theory on why he would have been in that crane that early to begin with, because, and it brings me back to when I was in my 20s. When I was a much livelier gal than I am in my 40s, okay? And we'll just say it that way. And there was times I had late nights, and I'm like, if I don't go pull in the driveway at work right now, I'm going to be, no, he wasn't fired that day. That was all smoke and mirrors too. That was his excuse to get the camper. He had to have an excuse to get the camper. So he's working for the same company. Obviously he wasn't fired. Obviously that was yet another lie, another manipulation to be able to do something that he needed to do. And remember, because he used that, he was able to gain 17 hours away from law enforcement and anybody else. So I don't think he was ever threatened to lose his job. I don't know anybody, any company, like they're working on St. Jude's where children are literally sitting up there, in all fairness, and it breaks my heart to say this, but on their dying bed. You know, some of these kids are very, very, very sick. I can't imagine any corporation doing work for a hospital like that, and when you have a missing child, they want to fire you off the job. That is probably the worst PR move that I could ever imagine. So I don't believe that story. I never believed that story. I have screamed it from the rooftops. I didn't believe that story. When he was saying it, I called BS like literally after it fell out of his mouth. Because I'm like that. I know corporations. I know that branding, when you have multi-million-dollar contracts, you cannot have reputational damage, especially when it comes to a missing child while you're working on St. Jude's. It ain't happening. It ain't happening, in my opinion. But, I don't know. I wasn't there. It could have. That's just my opinion. Just because I think it doesn't make it true. So I have ways of determining that. I can't do that where I'm at right now, but I have ways of determining these things to find out if they're true or not. So I will be fact-finding the crap out of this entire story. You guys know that. I'm already fact-finding the crap out of this entire story. But what I find really problematic is all those light sources that Nick Barris presented to the public, and that law enforcement tried to throw shade on and say, it's not what you think it is. It's really not anything that we can use. It's not really of any evidentiary value. Don't worry about it, guys. Look the other way. It's all smoke and mirrors. I can't believe you guys are making such a big deal of a garbage truck. Oh my gosh, it was just a garbage truck, guys. No, it wasn't. And as a matter of fact, no, it wasn't. It was going through the same common area and the exact same path. Like you can see these light sources on a specific path. And then you see the track of the dogs, and they're on that specific path. And then you have this unidentified car that backs up, turns around, and proceeds out of the community. And guess what? The dogs are no longer tracking in the grass and in the common areas. They're actually, it appears to me, tracking the movements of that car. Because I believe it was the car that drove over to the construction site. So this vehicle right here, I believe, is why we have scent at the construction site. This one right here. This back right here lines perfectly up with Kathy Bowersock's 2019 QX80. Almost like a glove. And this vehicle right here is seen on a neighbor's camera, backing up, going out Kellen to the road, and they didn't see where it goes from there. I bet you if somebody has a camera at the front of that, you're going to see that car turn right. I bet you anything. And I bet you anything, this car right here, if anybody over in that new community has a camera of some sort, of any sort, they probably seen the same exact vehicle. Probably creeping through that construction community. So that is really kind of where I feel this is. And that means if that car was seen at 3:30 at 4 o'clock in the morning, this lady and her husband were most likely in that car. Because we see a light source from that car turn around and go back toward the Proudfoot home, which in my opinion is Katie. Mama, Ellie has had this information for months. We're almost through the 4th month, and they had this information at most likely day 2 or day 3. Also, somebody sent me this, and I don't know if it's going to post right behind me or not, but I will try. Oh, it did. So this is a breakdown. This person here was a major Katie and Chris Proudfoot supporter and was really trying to break down what the stepfather said, you know, and because he was coming under heavy scrutiny over the 911 call. But it said the call came in around 6:30 and LE was there in 15 or 20 minutes. What you can't see is right here it says source. The source is from Major Tim Bailey at Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Oh! In the Criminal Investigation Division. Interesting. Thought it was interesting. Thought I'd point that out to everybody. Thought it was interesting. Because we know what we know. Don't ask me how we know it, but we know it. We do a lot of work and a lot of, just a lot of work to be in the know. Just thought I'd throw that out there because, you know, they're hiding the fact that they're in the criminal investigation, but the lead detective just happens to be in the criminal investigation department at Sumner County Sheriff's. No criminal investigation over here. None whatsoever. Just want to make sure everybody knows we're just in an investigation. Just in an investigation. We got weird phenomenons going inside the house, weird phenomenons going outside that. This boy just walked out. He levitated out of the chimney. Did anybody look at the chimney? Maybe he's in the chimney. That would creep me out. I'm just saying. It stinks in Denmark. And then last night I put Seth on the spot because he was in my chat and I know that he's been doing a lot of cease and desist letters and, you know, there's been a lot of legal expenses. They still have they're still paying other investigators to investigate, you know, real investigators. Just, you know, these internet PIs drive me nuts. And I don't like them. I don't think I say that enough on this particular platform. I say it all the time on YouTube. I don't like internet PIs. You guys are great. I'm not trying to dog any of you guys, but you guys are public PIs. You know it. You're not private. When I deal with private investigators, I want sleuth. I want stealth. I want nobody knows who they are. I want them being able to creep. I want them on the ground. You know, those are the people I want. Not that I don't, you know, I on YouTube, I don't like them because they don't like me, because I call them out on their BS. But I don't know what you guys do over here. I know that a lot of people do the data mining and stuff like that. That's a great skill set. I'm not dogging that. I'm dogging the public and private part. And the fact that these internet PIs have rocked several of my cases, posted private communications with them and victims' parents and stuff like that on social media. Private communications. After that, to me, you're no good to me. That, like, you just showed your hand. I think that is an ethical violation. And if you have no duty to your own ethics, I want nothing to do with you. That's where it is. So don't you know, if you put this stuff out, just let everybody know that you do. Don't try to creep and say you're a private eye when you're a public eye. Okay? And so I ended up putting this out because we got expenses, and this is Seth's Cash App. And people wanted to tear my ass up over trying to help a family. I help families. I've been doing this for a long time. Our team is still providing gifts and financial support where we can for Jen Santinello literally a year later. And it seems to me that the only family that's not allowed to come out here for resources is Seth. And I just want to put a kibosh on that. I want to make sure everybody knows that this is his Cash App. If they would like to contribute, they may contribute. This man has expenses. These expenses are ongoing. And if anybody wants to intimidate me, it will not work. If I've got to raise the money myself on my own platform and give him 100% of it, I will do just that if you want to dog him. But I would like not to have to get my hands all up in it and just say, hey, for those that would like to support this man, you can absolutely support him. For those that don't want to support him, then you're absolutely entitled not to support him. But this is a father that's in need. He has a missing child. He has attorneys. He has PIs. These are ongoing costs, okay? And they're not cheap. You know, when I actually talked to a PI, let me give you guys an example. When I talked to a PI and I needed somebody traced, and I did this 2 years ago, I had to have somebody traced. It cost me $1,600 for 8 hours. $1,600. That's my personal experience. And that's just with the PI. You want to get in an attorney? The last attorney I actually had to pay for cost me $8,500. Doesn't sound like small ticketed items, right? So I just wanted to put that out there because people have a way of driving a narrative and switching and twisting and churning and burning what is really going on. And they can make it look very nefarious if they so choose. But I can promise you, it is not nefarious. These are expenses that are ongoing. If they were not expenses ongoing, I would not be advocating. Because trust me, I don't like being a fool. I don't believe I'm a fool. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe. We have no alibis. No alibis. We've got 4 people here. 2 of them were sleeping. Gosh knows, they're probably sleeping too. It seems like a lot of people were sleeping while this kid was wide awake and up and running around and being a Houdini and getting out of the house and being able to take something and wipe his entire sin off the front door and front porch. I know, I was thinking about Aunt Melissa too. Now, if she has a similar vehicle as, Mama Bowersocks, there's going to be some problems because Aunt Melissa lives the furthest out from everybody. Like, she's out there in the boonies, it looks like. And I just keep thinking that would be a prime area. That'd be a place that Chris would be very fluent in. And maybe not on her property, but maybe he would know some places around there. It's like me in Mayaca City. You know, it's not a place I lived, but I grew up there. My grandpa was there. And I can tell you, I lived a lot of my life out there in that area. You wouldn't know it. It's not anywhere on my background. You're not going to be able to look at my living history or my addresses and ever know that I was out in Mayaca City. But I can tell you where there's some holes. I can tell you if I got jammed up where I'd go. And it wouldn't be around here. Just saying. So, I hope you guys get over there and watch the video. It's this is the one that I have behind me. It's this thumbnail here. This is the one that we just really break down the case, and it's alive. So when you go over to YouTube and you go to the channel, they have these little tabs at the top. One's video, one's shorts, one's lives, one's your community tabs and stuff like that. You'll want to go over to the live tab and look for this thumbnail. And if you guys have a time, or if you're working and you just want to listen to something while you work, this is about an hour long, and I really walk you through it. If it's something, I would be honest with you, it'd be something that I think you would want to watch, like maybe when you're home tonight and you could actually watch the video versus just listening to it, because I use a lot of visual aids to help you kind of button everything together for yourself so you can see how everything kind of transpired. I think that's very important because I can talk to you about this stuff, but like I do here. But I have no way of showing you guys videos without, flipping phones, getting the computer. It just becomes a process on here. It's not very interactive friendly where I can put up videos and stuff. I mean, I'm thankful that I can change my green screen and my thumbnails, so at least I can show you like cars. I can show you stills, but I can't really show you videos. I can do a whole lot more over on that platform. It's like I can do this, right? But you're not going to see me, putting the other vehicle up here and transitioning it. I mean, I tried to do it on here, but you guys get like a glare, and it makes it very difficult for you guys to see. Yeah, on YouTube. And so, at least on YouTube, like I have a studio there where I can bring my second screen in and play videos and stop it. And I have a cursor where I can point things out to you and really explain it and show you the path. So it's this is the thumbnail you're going to want to look at. But again, if you have an hour of your time, if you're invested in this case and you really feel like Chris and Katie are responsible and their family is responsible, this is one of the videos you're not going to want to miss, because I really take you from the beginning part of this, probably around the 9 p.m. when he allegedly went to bed, all the way up to, kind of morning where they thought they saw Kathy Bowersox at the Worsham's store. So it really brings you all the way up to when law enforcement got, from 9 p.m. to when law enforcement got involved in this case. Hey, Jen, it's nice to see you, my love. And I really think that if you are invested in this case, you are going to want to watch it, because it really kind of dovetails in. Now, if I got some information wrong or anything like that, I think I did pretty good. It is my opinion, just to let you know. But if there is something out of place or wrong, please send me an email and clarify that with me, because at the end of the day, we're trying to find the truth. And if something is inaccurate, we need to correct it as quickly as possible, because it may change another factor of our case and our analysis of it. So we want to have all the information that we can. This is stuff that we have been able to corroborate as true for the most part. Other parts are just my opinion. So go check it out. Leave me a comment. If you found the video informational to you, you found it, please pass it around. Share it with other people, because I'm getting kind of like butthurt a little bit, because on another creator's channel, they bring up this this family, or this friend from 8 years ago when Katie was in California, and she's talking about life as it was 8 years ago, not life as it was today. And it was done on the same night that I dropped this bombshell, and I felt like it was a little bit of damage control. But the one thing about it is they kept trying to redirect anger and incite emotional responses from their audience about Seth, even though Seth is not responsible. And this woman even said Seth loves his son. For all the people that don't think this man loves his son and cares for his son. Like, even in her little butthurt, she was a little butthurt about a few things, but you could tell she wasn't trying to drag the man like the panel wanted her to, which was really sad. Like, why would a panel want to drag an innocent father that's missing his son? It's disgusting to me. It's heartless. That's what it feels like to me. It's heartless. You want to drag Katie and Chris? I'm on board all day long, but an innocent man that did nothing wrong, that may very well have some disabilities himself, that to me is pretty heartless. And I don't know. I just want to support him. I want to support finding Sebastian and bringing Sebastian home. I'd love nothing more than to unite Sebastian with his father, healthy and happy. But I'm a realist here, and the thing I just laid out in this is not looking good at all. It bodes in the absolute opposite of where we want this case to be. And it's sad. So, guys, I know we have our own opinions and stuff like that, and maybe our hurt feelings, but this man is really hurting. And every day we are coming closer and closer to the truth, and it's not looking good. We have to find some humanity in ourselves. Okay? If you guys can, please tell this man every time you see him, just wrap your hands, or, tell him, you're on his side. Tell him that you care about his son. Tell him some positive reinforcement, some words of encouragement. This is going to be getting worse and worse for this man. Not better. Worse. I'm telling you, I've seen this so many times, it's not even funny. And what is being perpetrated upon this man is just mean. It's I can't imagine doing that to anyone, not even my worst enemy. Not even my worst enemy. Yet we're doing it to an innocent man. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. We know who has the hands in this child's disappearance. We need to find out why, how, and where the hell this kid is. That's what we need to find out. So that's what we are pursuing here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. I welcome all people, the audience, other creators to help me. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. Let's just keep going. We got a little bit more to do. A little bit more work. We're almost there. All right, guys, God bless you. I'll be back more. I'm starting my day late. I kind of had a lot going on. There was a little cray-cray last night. I got a knock at the door at midnight, and I'm thinking, oh, shoot, it's another SWAT call. And it wasn't. It was the local dog catcher not wanting to take 2 beautiful dogs to the dog pound and thought that they may belong to this house. And God bless the dog owner for willing to wake up disgruntled people. I wasn't disgruntled to him at all, but I'm sure somebody probably was. And he was just trying to keep the dogs from going in. He didn't want to clink them. You know what I'm saying? He was trying here. He was trying here. So I pointed him. I tried to point him in the right direction, but it was midnight. So after he woke me up, it became very difficult to go back to sleep. So when I finally did go back to sleep, I think it was like 4 o'clock this morning. And so I didn't really get up until like 7. And by the time I start at 7, you got to remember, I'm usually starting at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. So I was already behind 3 hours. So now you know why you're about 3 hours behind schedule today. It's because of a dog catcher wanting not to take a couple dogs down to the pound. So, you can't fault the man for that. I God blessed him all the way off the driveway. So, Saint Sebastian, thank you, Angel Eyes, thank you. Guys, have a great day. Please be kind to one another. I think we have an opportunity here to see a lot of hate. I think this case has opened our eyes to a lot of nastiness from people. I think we can learn that those aren't what we want to be, right? We don't want to be that. And we have each and every, even if we were like that yesterday, we don't have to be like that today. Every single day we wake up, we get a new start to life. Every day you wake up, you get a new lease to life. Even if you were a dirtbag yesterday, you have an opportunity to be the best person you can be today. So I hope you choose you, and I hope you choose kindness and love. God bless.